This special edition had a custom RB bored and stroked out to make.
Excuse me, sorry.
Are you serious, dude? Nah, come on. It's 100 episodes. Yeah, dude, go ahead. Sorry. More power, baby! Yeah! Do it with me! More power, baby! Everybody!
More power, baby!
Do you like going fast? Do you like your cars loud? Well then, do I have a car company for you. They handle more Vipers than that guy at the zoo. They know more about speed than Sandra Bullock. Their cars have more horses than the Kentucky friggin' Derby. The next GTR would be designed with one objective in mind, in 2 phases. Dominate the Japanese Touring Car Championship Group A division, then take over the world. This is everything you need to know to get up to speed on the Nissan Skyline GTR. Bah!
Wait, you already did this. It was your first episode.
Yeah, but it was like 5 minutes long and the coloring was really bad. And honestly, you know what? Give me a minute.
Oh, sure, yeah. Take your time. I'll be here.
July 2017. July 2017. July 2017. There's Godzilla. It wasn't available to most of us for decades, but it's an icon around the world. How's that? Happy birthday.
I like this.
An evergreen star of video games and movies, the Nissan Skyline is the quintessence of forbidden fruit.
James, watch out!
This is everything you need to know. The R33 is the dark horse of the GTR line. It's definitely bigger than the others, like Nolan, who's a thick boy, and not as popular, also like Nolan. But let's give it time, and I think both of them will come into their own. Nolan wrote this. People say that it drives like a video game, like that's a negative. The only reason we know about GTRs is because of Gran Turismo. So of course, the R35 drives like a video game. The cars you saw winning were the ones you could buy. It's just like my dad used to say, win on Sunday, sell James's bike for poker money on Monday. 1969 was a year of firsts for America. We landed on the moon, supposedly. Woodstock happened, supposedly. And Harley Davidson was given financial aid from an angel coming down from the heavens. America Machine Foundry. AMF was one of the United States' largest recreational equipment companies and was best known for making bowling stuff. Yay! So in 1958, the XLCH was born. The CH stands for competition hot. Sales and quality were declining and Harley Davidson was struggling to stay afloat. Now people call them Harley drivable. Oh, roasted! The new partnership would operate under the name HSV, or Holden Special Vehicles. How does he do that?
Just spitting words on his figure out of nowhere.
In the beginning, the race was dominated by small, nimble little Brits like the Ford Cortina, Mini Cooper, and Warwick Davis. It ran on a leather belt, kind of like how I used to run after I heard my dad's leather belt.
Child abuse. No laughing matter.
Bad guys love them. Cartels gots to have them. And of course, you can't forget that they're loved by the biggest, baddest authority figures of them all. Moms. This is everything you need to know to get up to speed on the Chevy Suburban. Hey, this flathead is nice, don't you know, but I want some more power. More power? Uh-oh. More power, don't you know? Here it comes. Yeah, more power, baby. Yeah, more power, baby. More power, baby! This Vincent company holding the title and released upon the universe the GPZ 900R Ninja. It took Kawasaki over 6 years to make in secret because, of course, ninjas do everything in secret. Oh, yeah, and also they made a version with... The cars of the early 1900s had no power, baby. Can you imagine 2/3 of a horse? Gross. And if you wanted to go fast, the best way to do it back then would be to drive off of a cliff. Anyway, offering a 4-door version was a huge deal to customers because it made the Explorer a practical family vehicle. Soccer practice in the front, off-road sports car in the back. It was the mullet of family vehicles, and the 90s loved a mullet. From Billy Ray Cyrus to Uncle Jesse, everybody was sporting a mullet, even frickin' Superman. You know what? I'm just gonna say it. For the next 11 years, the Ford Explorer was a pretty basic
That's why I love it. He gives the people what they need to hear.
Preach it,
All right,
brother.
He nicknamed the project Taurus after his wife, not because she was like a bull, but because Taurus the bull was her astrological sign. Louie, honey, what's my horoscope say?
Let me see here. Taurus, with Mercury in retrograde. Don't be surprised if your husband develops a nameplate that sells over 2 million units in the first generation of production and single-handedly saves Ford from bankruptcy. Huh, do you actually believe this nonsense?
But it turns out it wasn't nonsense. And the car sold like hotcakes when it launched in 1986. Do people still buy hotcakes? That seems like a bad analogy these days. Coffee makes more sense, or meth. So the 1986 Taurus sold like meth. They were what you might call basic. Not Ugg boots and pineapple spice basic. Basic as in literally rough around the edges, bare bones, basic. For some reason, the passenger seat was wider than the driver's seat. I assume it's in case you need to pick up a very, very wide friend. It had easy to clean vinyl upholstery so you could murder people in it. And 2 fold down bench seats faced towards each other from the sides in the back, so you would never miss your friend. Hi. 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 It's like he spent the entire class just making the front half beautiful, and then the teacher's like, all right, pencils down, and Colin's like, oh crap. Even though it could have used where is he? This umbrella company, not actually an umbrella company, it's just what you call like a bigger company that owns a bunch of littler companies. They didn't really make umbrellas. Farmers loved the Land Rover because of how many pigs they could fit in the back. And the rich people loved the Range Rover because of how many of their pig-like children they could fit in the back. The only thing left to figure out was the name. Highlander and Prairie Rover were briefly thrown around, and they even considered naming the car the Pumphrey Butt Wagon. I promise, before settling on the name Discovery. And 5 beautiful doors. Now, it wouldn't be super awkward to jump in the back seat. Excuse me, Dad.
Sorry, guys.
You in?
They don't offer a 5-door model.
You in? I don't know why I'm in the back. You in?
Do you like how I'm wearing my hat? I feel like a lot of people are gonna wear it like this in the future.
Oh, nope.
But only for a while, and then if you wear it like this after a while,
Give me my
you're not gonna
seatbelt.
look cool.
The 4.8 liter inline 6 could easily be built out to handle.
More power, baby.
No, say it like he says it.
More power, baby.
Say it right, Jimmy!
More power, baby.
Get the frick out of here, Jimmy!
More power.
You'll never be him! You'll never be him!
I didn't even want to be here.
Get out! You never come back! You never come back, Jimmy! You never come back! Ah! Guess if you want something done, you gotta do it yourself. More power, baby!
Well, that was awkward. Why didn't they edit this out?
You can get it in any color you want it, as long as it was code 811 pale yellow. The grill itself looked like it would suck you up like a whale sucking up a bunch of krill. The coolest option of them all.
Remix. Roll down, up and down headlights. 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 Roll down, up and down headlights.
If you don't know what a typewriter is, Google Murder, She Wrote opening credits. That's what a typewriter is. Honda was the first Japanese automaker to ever build cars in the US. That's more harmony. That's world harmony, baby.
Oh my God. He's like an angel.
Because of a little thing called the gas crisis. That dang old freaking gas crisis.
The gas crisis of 1979 was quickly changing the way the car industry operated around the world. Look, guys, I know we mention the gas crisis in almost every episode, but here's the thing. It really f***ed things up. I have to mention it.
Freaking gas crisis. Death of the muscle cars.
The next Skyline, the R31, was slated for release in 1985. 10 years before Post Malone was born. And in 85, 10 years before Post Malone was born, they released the SCI.
In late 1986, 9 years before Post Malone was born, production began on Project J. And also the new Range Rover, codenamed Pegasus, which is a buff horse with wings.
And a victory at the 1990 Bathurst 1000, only 5 years. Okay, so I'll start to add up, only 5 years before Post Malone was born. In 1991, 4 years before Post Malone was born, John Hennessy went from reading car mags on the toilet to winning races, marriage, and running a tuning company. He sold Lotus to Malaysian car maker Proton in 1996, when Post Malone was only a year old. The 5th gen Y61 Patrol launched at the end of 1997, only 2 years after Post Malone was born. Coincidence? There's no such thing as coincidence.
Can I just say one thing? Thanks for having me on the show, James. It's been a huge, huge honor. This is the best virtual, non-asked for thing ever. Can I just plug my show? Like real quick, I'm just gonna make a plug for Octane Monkey. No?
Get the frick out of here! Who was that guy? I don't know why I'm in the back.